Hey, what's up, guys? This starts in like 3 minutes. So if you're coming back and watching this later, you just have to skip forward about 3 minutes, and the live space is about to start. I'm just getting the stream set up to try to make sure that all the Evergrow people are going to get notified of this. And we're getting an update from Sam and the community leaders on Luna Sky and I think some other things. So it's going to be exciting. It's good to see you guys again. What's up, Brian, William, Captain Rusco, Casey? How you guys doing? Mitch, thank you for the $2. Great to see you, Mitch. You're awesome, bro. Thank you so much, man. What up, G? What's up, man? What's up, Limitless Legacy? What's your EGC? So my last transaction with Evergrow Coin was months ago. I bought a large amount. So I sold a good amount at a certain point, and I believe in Evergrow, so I bought a large amount back. And you know, depending on how much more prices go down, I will continue to buy more. So space should be starting soon. Crypto vibes, I love you, man. It's like one of my brothers in the DeFi space. You type super fast. Thanks, man. Yeah, I mean you get used to it when you're like always typing, right? Here we go. It says it's live. I might just need to refresh the page.
So it is. Yeah, now you're loud and clear.
All right, very good. Cool. Let's get some headphones connected. Great to see everybody. Look at all these folks. Bunch of familiar faces. Love seeing that. New faces. Love seeing that too. Mr. Paul, Mr.
Hey
Frank,
everyone,
Mr. Sam, how are y'all?
I got our new website at the top. If anyone hasn't seen it yet, it's been up for about 3 weeks now. I got a pin to the top, and I'll be pinning stuff as we go along here.
Can everybody hear me okay?
Sam, can you? There you are.
Is it loud and clear? Because I
Clear.
know in the past once or twice people said it was a bit quiet. My AirPods aren't so good for some reason.
Sound good
Hey,
to me?
sound pretty good here.
Perfect.
Okay, so let's give everyone a minute here to fill up. We got our new website launched at the top. Let you guys know, Sam's going to speak in a minute. We're going to throw it over to Cody in just a second. He's going to give an update on how the beta testing is going for Luna Sky, and then I'll pass it over to Sam, and we'll let him do his thing. At the end, we will take some questions. Please limit your questions to what the topics are at hand today. One question per person, please. We're going to try to make this around 45 minutes if we can, and we'll see how it goes. I'll repeat that again as we go because I know people will join us kind of late. Also, this is being streamed on YouTube on Crypto Dreams website. Shout out to him. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Okay, let's see how many people we got here. 118, we're still growing. All right, we'll give everyone another minute. I'm going to go ahead and pin some more stuff to the top here.
Mr. Paul, Mr. Frank, Mr. Sam, how are y'all doing today?
Very well, thank you. It's great to see everybody tuning in, all these very supportive, familiar faces who we hugely love and appreciate. I know it's been a hell of a tough, well, let's say year now for everybody, like not just crypto investors, but everybody around the world. So, you guys are doing an amazing job keeping positive. I know it's tough. I know for a lot of people, this might be the first bear market you've experienced. I'm a little bit older than most, so I've experienced a few, but they never get any easier. But, good on everybody for hanging on in there. One thing we know about markets is they always recover eventually. That's an absolute fact.
Okay. Just let everyone know I got some stuff pinned at the top, our new website. I got what our Luna Sky looks like right now. We got how it looks in the metaverse, and I'll pin some more stuff as we go through. And people want to kind of look through that as we're going through. Okay, Cody, you want to start us off with how beta testing is going for Luna Sky?
Yeah, it sounds good. So Luna Sky is coming along really well. It's been really interesting and enlightening to be involved in the development process. The beta testing has evolved so much, everyone. It's like I'm happy to give you some insights, on the process as a whole. We essentially verbally communicate daily with the developers and designers. We've got a fantastic ticketing system that was actually developed by Evergrow Frank and one of our Telegram admins, Marios. That alone has helped the process become just really be extremely efficient. I can't thank you guys enough for that. So thank you, Frank, Marios. Big shout out to y'all. We submit the issues there we encounter and requests for things like new features, suggestions, etc. The developers and designers will notate who's working on which submission and update a status along the way until completion. When this all started, it was really just me, Paul, and Frank. When they first started building the platform, doing the first round of testing. And once it got to a certain point, we brought on 7 other mods and admins to continue the testing. And they've been crucial to the process. So thanks to those mods and admins as well who have been involved in it. You guys have been doing a really killer job. Could not be where it is without you. That being said, I'll give you some insight now on the development process itself. When we're testing the platform, we're looking to ensure its functionality. We're also looking to improve on its design as well along the way. An example of some functionality issues we've addressed so far are things like connecting wallets, for example, right? We've had some intermittent wallet connect issues with Trust Wallet. I mean, rightfully so. Trust Wallet's not really designed to be a wallet that's used for NFT platforms, but we really want to try and ensure we can get every wallet fully functional with the platform as possible. So there are options. MetaMask works flawlessly. I personally haven't had any issues with it. It works great. We've made a lot of improvements in working with these wallet companies as well to get things like Trust Wallet functioning fully 100% of the time. So that's been coming along really well. Some other aspects of things, we've addressed all the way minting, of course, things like increasing the upload sizes, ensuring music as well as images are capable of being minted every time without issue, and creating collections. We've had intermittent issues along the way with those things, but now they're all functioning beautifully. Buying and selling of NFTs, ensuring the transaction goes through, funds show in your wallet and or are removed from your wallet, etc. Right? We've had some issues there with Trust Wallet again, but again, that kind of lies on the wallet manufacturer. Whether you see a contract call or not, you might see your balance increase or decrease from making a buy or sell in a particular wallet that maybe not a contract call, right? We've sent requests to them to look into updating those kind of things, just so that visually everything is on the up and up for the user. MetaMask again, it's really made for an NFT platform, so haven't really had any issues with that specifically. Server speeds, ensuring that when navigating through different pages on the platform, the page and content loads extremely quickly for you. There's no lag time, stuff like that. On the aesthetic side, a lot of design aspects have changed since this all started. Things like color and font changes that are better suited for the user experience. Navigation bars have come a long way, drop down menus in specific locations, navigational features that make it easy to get to and from different pages with ease. Ton of different things. That's just a few, right? Just wanted to give you guys a little inside look at it. All these things may sound like easy adjustments or fixes, but they aren't always so cut and dry. They take time. Everything is interconnected. I mean, there is a lot more to the development process than the flip of a switch. It's not always as straightforward as writing some code and then bam, a new thing is added and it's good to go without issue. It rarely is, and anyone in development, I'm sure, understands that. You can change or add one thing and it can affect something else. And then that needs to be addressed, right? Or add a new feature and realize, oh, this other aspect would be much better now if we did this, etc.
I was
You
getting ready to say that, Cody. Like,
know, yeah,
you change one thing, and then that doesn't fit right, and then something else doesn't fit right. So you got to change that.
Yeah, exactly. And just kind of goes back to how everything is really interconnected in the process. And again, this is something that's being built from the ground up. This is a startup company. This is a product that is built from the ground up. This isn't an existing platform with a software update. Eventually it will be, and that'll be great. But right now it's the beginning stages and it's coming along great. We're in a fortunate position currently. We didn't want to simply release a minimum viable product to you all just to say we got it out. We realized pretty quickly we want to have a fully functional platform free of as many issues as possible. So, I'm glad that we are where we are with it, and it is, it's right around the corner. So, thanks so much for your patience. We can't wait to show you Luna Sky. Frank, did you have anything you wanted to add to that?
I've got it all pretty much. It's as you said, you update one thing and it does affect another thing, and you sort of need to sort of go back and fix that, and so on and so forth. But it's coming along nicely, and I can't thank the mods and admins enough for all their help and with the testing and all the devs also that are putting in all the hard work on it. I think everyone's doing an amazing job.
Yeah, really appreciate that. And also, just let everyone know, Frank is driving, and it's early in the morning in Australia, so he's just kind of here for backup and for some questions afterwards. Okay, now move it over to Sam. Sam, you want to take it away?
Yeah, look, guys, fantastic update. And I know the work that you guys are putting in. You're going above and beyond what community leaders should be doing, and I think the whole community should be hugely grateful to you. And again, it's like Frank was saying, we say to the devs, can you make this small change? And there can be this effect where you make a small change in code and it can affect 20 other things. So although development may seem superficially easy, I think we see across the world just how tough development is. And every time I go to Luna Sky, I see amazing improvements. I mean, today the improvements to the user interface are game changing for me. I've got it in front of me on dark mode at the moment, and I think the guys who understand what I say, like when you scroll down, the logo kind of floats in the sky now above the stars, and the top menu is transparent, and it looks absolutely beautiful. And I think it's actually improved. I know there's a lot of people wondering about the sand color on the day mode. I think we're open to potentially changing it, but I think the new UI improvements have actually made that look really nice. So I think we'll probably have a further debate on that. And I know everyone was, saying just get it launched. Don't worry about these little design things. But we have to make this special. We're up against existing companies that are generating billions of dollars in revenue, have huge teams, have years of background and experience, and we're trying to make our little Luna Sky better than OpenSea and a more beautiful, usable experience. And I really think that we're doing it. And I know you guys wanted this months ago. We did too. As I said on a recent tweet, no one intends to make things late. But the truth is, as Cody said there, none of us have built utilities before. I think our backgrounds. I think most projects in crypto are doing something that's never happened before. DeFi's barely been around for a year or two. So everything we do is being done from the beginning, and we want it to be amazing. We want to justify where we want to be in this space by creating the absolute best apps that we can possibly create. We don't want to just roll something out just for the sake of it. And it really is just for the sake of it, because as I've said before, and I truly believe this, I think we could have rolled out our entire ecosystem. And I think because of this immense macroeconomic crash, I think we would have been fighting a tide, and I think it would have been a really sad waste of a brilliant suite of utilities for us to have, ironically, I'm not saying we did this on purpose. We didn't, we had ambitious deadlines and we failed to meet them. And we've apologized. We continue to apologize. We continue to work hard. But the truth is, guys, if we had launched into this market, price would have still crashed and we'd have had nowhere to go, because we'd have done our launch. All the excitement would have been out of the way. So we are now in a very ironically privileged position where we can get everything absolutely beautiful and blow everybody's minds in time for when the market recovers. So I did say that this was going to be a bit of a market update. So those who don't know, I've been a qualified investment manager for a large part of my career. and I've been studying the markets for a couple of decades now. This is not investment advice. This is my opinion. But I've been doing this for a long time, and I do not believe, for example, that we're going to be in a 2 to 3 year bear market. Whether you're talking cryptos or whether you're talking, the standard markets. The reason why is because we live in a different culture to 2000 or 2008. If we look back at the data, the 2000 crash lasted over 2 years, and the markets fell around 50%. And then we had another crash in 07, 08 that lasted less, that lasted like 16 months, but had a slightly deeper fall, about 53%. Then we had the COVID sell-off. COVID was potentially the most devastating economic event in the history of modern civilization. You could even argue more so than World War II, because entire economies across the entire globe shut down completely. And the COVID fall lasted 2 months. And fell 26%. Now, it was artificially stimulated, obviously, by the Fed and other central governments. But I think it shows that we're seeing a pattern of shorter, quicker, but not quite as deep falls. And because of globalization, because of technology, because of our when culture, I feel that people are getting back in quicker, and also because the information gets around the world instantly. We're in a TikTok and Twitter culture. Okay, we're not in MySpace culture anymore. People binge watch an entire TV series in one day. They don't watch it over 12 weeks like I had to do when I was growing up. You had to wait for it to come on the TV once a week. People don't want to buy bonds. They don't want fixed interest. No one's interested in that. This is the culture. I don't think anybody listening to this space is looking at 10-year yield going, I can't wait to buy some bonds. You guys are waiting to buy crypto, along with other trillions of dollars, and you're probably waiting to buy some stocks and shares as well. And there are trillions on the sideline. Well, that money that was pumped into the system, it's sat in people's bank accounts, it's sat in people's crypto wallets, in BUSD, etc. So that's why, I believe that cycles are accelerating. And I don't believe, I know people are really concerned. They hear me talking about timing the Lunar Sky launch, and they're like, well, what if we're in a bear market for 2 or 3 years? First and foremost, we won't delay it that long. As you heard from the update, it's going brilliantly. I don't want to delay it, any longer than necessary. We obviously want to get it finished. We want to get it perfect. We have this amazing promotion. I don't want to delay it. I want to get it out there. But I'm not going to launch it while, Bitcoin's crashing 10% a day, for example. So I think we're going to, my personal opinion, non-investment advice opinion, is that once inflation starts to level off, and it was such extreme data last month that I think we're going to get leveling off reasonably soon, possibly, in the next month or two. I can see this market already in a steady recovery phase by the end of the year. So we don't need to see a massive bull market. We just need to see some stability, people starting to get their confidence back, and then we launch. So let's talk about, the launch of Lunar Sky. We obviously have the Evergrow Man collection, which is going to generate, we hope and we expect over $1 million for buyback and burn, which obviously at this very, very low price would make an incredible difference on the buy and the burn side. It would increase the price exponentially. I think the effect of us launching Lunar Sky, doing huge buyback and burn, the market's potentially going up, BNB potentially going up, or at least stabilizing, that would be an enormous compounding effect. If we can time those things together, then I believe that is the way to optimize the launch of Lunar Sky. Not launch it when it's ready, but BNB is still falling and sucking out of our liquidity pool. Because when BNB falls, remember, our liquidity pool is shrinking because our liquidity pool is based in BNB. So we cannot fight that. We can talk more about the technicals of that another time, so I don't want to go on too long. But this is why, and beyond just for the Evergrow community, there is a big competition alongside the NFT collection, which we're going to promote, obviously, independently. We're going to promote Lunar Sky independently. We want non-Evergrow people into Lunar Sky. That's why we'll always say Lunar Sky. We don't need to even talk about Evergrow necessarily, but we have a huge community to launch into. So we are waiting for all these conditions to align. And obviously, we need a perfect utility as well to launch into. So, I'm really excited. And the work, again, I'm just going to emphasize that the work these guys have done for you, for your investors. As I said on my tweet the other day, every single person wakes up every day at any level of the team, and they want us to be successful. There's nobody here that doesn't want us to be successful. There's nobody here that's working against the investors. As I said, when I joined the team, my deal with the team is to always put investors first, because look, I'm an investor, guys, like, that. I'm putting myself first. I'm being selfish by wanting us to be successful, because you guys know I hold a lot of coins, and if Evergrow is successful, I'll be successful as well. But I'm a patient investor. I'm not a when investor. I'd rather actually build a long-term successful project that could potentially be a multi-billion project than some quick pump and dump and everybody gets out and then a load of people get screwed. I'm not interested in building that sort of project. I want to build a big project that will last for the next decade and where everybody can be happy and we don't have losers in the project. So that's what I'm working towards. That's why I know it can be painful sometimes and you think I'm delaying things for a reason, but I'm delaying things for strategy and I'm delaying things for quality. And if we can combine those two things, I think we can be incredibly successful. And I can't wait for Lunar Sky to go live. But guys, let us do it at the right time. Okay, that's probably enough from me now.
Does anyone have any questions? Feel free to raise your hand, or we can have Sam keep on going with his wisdom. Okay, let's see. Please limit yourself to one question, unless we don't have a lot. And let's bring up first person. Okay, Daniel, you there?
I am here. Hey, everyone. Hey,
How you doing,
a
man?
big shout out to Sam and Cody and Paul and Nicola and Frank. Everyone knows that I'm a real big fan of Evergrow. And one of the things I wanted to talk about in a little bit more detail is the marketing aspect. And I understand, Sam, you talked about this big launch, but I want to hear about some of the other things that we're considering to really help get some traction, because we all know there's a lot of competition out there. There's a lot of static in the marketplace, and kind of trying to break through the clutter can be a little bit challenging. So we have to really, take advantage of social media. We have to be in all the right directories. We have to really be working, strongly on the press side. We have to be talking to influencers. We have to try to attract, different influencers in the major categories that represent NFTs. So if we're trying to go after like event ticketing companies, we need to have, flagship type of companies interested in our platform so that we can try to bring more users. So, Sam, can you talk a little bit about some of the additional marketing activities that we would be considering, and whether or not we have a team and/or a group of people geared towards the marketing effort?
Yeah, good question and some great points in there. I'll try to remember the different elements of the question. So obviously, there's one thing we have to bear in mind right now is that we are in this deep bear market with very low volume. So one of the things I've promised everybody is that Evergrow will survive indefinitely. There is not Evergrow not going to run out of money. I will not let it happen. So we will keep going. There won't be any announcements that we're done. We can't afford to run the projects anymore. But obviously, we're not in a place anymore where we can spend $1 million on a marketing campaign. And I don't think we need to. I think what we need to do with Evergrow, the unique benefit we've got is that we can market the launches of each utility, which will in turn benefit Evergrow. And we can use each utility as a marketing platform. So obviously when Lunar Sky goes live, that's the first one. We have a major launch competition. We think we're going to attract tens of thousands of people, but we also can't do everything at once. So, I'm really interested in Lunar Sky getting involved with music, with real estate, with there are lots of things. Those two are like big focuses for me. Actually, real estate is a big focus, and the way I think we're going to be successful with that is first and foremost to prove that Lunar Sky is a great platform, and we do that by getting 50,000 people using it, and I think we can do that without blowing our budget and without risking the project. And then I think we can look to build partnerships, as you say, with influencers, and particularly in areas that are beyond the the JPEGs, to put it bluntly. That's the area I really want to move into, because I think long term NFTs are going to be hugely valuable. But marketplaces who are like, hey man, we're selling these gorillas, we're making a fortune, yeah, they're going to be dead, because they don't understand that is not the future of NFTs. So I actually want to start once we're launched and we are proven, because you can't go to influential people in real estate, etc., and say, hey man, we've got this great marketplace launching next week. They'll say, yeah, let me know when it's launched, let me know when it's going well, let me know it's got a reputation and it's working, and then we can talk about partnerships. So we're talking about creating organic marketing through partnerships. Evergrow are in the press every single day of the week, by the way. That's why we've managed to continue just about to build wallet numbers while crypto is dying temporarily. So we are actually, Evergrow is actually in the press every single day. That's we keep that momentum going. The marketing still continues all the time. So again, I hope that covered a little bit of the plan. Obviously, one of the big plans is going to be to get Lunar Sky. We're already building up Lunar Sky followers. We're going to start cranking that up before launch. So you'll start to see things that will attract new people to Lunar Sky. We want to build up tens of thousands of followers on the Twitter, for example. We have Facebook, and we're going to have Instagram and TikTok and all those socials. But again, we can't do what OpenSea can do because we don't generate billions of dollar revenue yet. But what we do need is an incredibly successful launch, which we will start to build up momentum towards very soon.
I think, Sam, also, you made a good point. I wanted to reemphasize it, that, people have, messaged me all the time about, wanting to partner with this influencer or that influencer. And you just said it, you can't go to these, big influencers or, a big, like you said, wherever it may be, a partnership when you haven't even launched yet. You
Yeah,
gotta
not
have,
unless you've
you
got
gotta be
200
launched.
grand to give to each of them, which we haven't. So it's as simple
Exactly.
as that. But when we're
Yeah.
launched and we've got a good reputation, we've got lots of followers, we bring value to that partnership. At the moment, it's a startup, but once we've proven it works, it's in the market, it's going to be a lot easier to attract those people. So, and again, guess what's most important? The product. We get that product beautiful, and then we can launch it successfully. Then we can start building those partnerships.
All right, Jim.
Hey, Paul, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Hey, Paul, Frank, Cody, thanks for hosting this. Sam, thanks for your leadership and your integrity on this project. Been around for a while, and I think this is second to none to a lot of other projects out there. So appreciate the level of leadership that you've shown to date. Quick question for you, Sam, maybe for the other investors out there too. What do you see as the biggest challenge to the long-term success of Evergrow? And on the flip side, what do you see as Evergrow's biggest competitive advantage long-term? Thanks.
It's a very good question. So I think in terms of our advantages, ironically, these markets are going to work to our advantage because I've said it so many times. There are too many projects out there, and we are very lucky that we have a big community. We're very lucky that we have resources, and we can survive. And we can actually continue to build. And CZ keeps saying, not CZ, whatever you want to say, keeps saying that related to Binance. We build. We're always building. Where the markets are falling, it doesn't mean that our fundamental value is falling. It just means that the price is falling. So that I think is a big advantage in us. That the space will probably shrink a little bit over the coming months. We're not seeing initial coin offerings every day of the week like we were towards last year. This massive gold rush of projects just launching day after day. So the challenges for me, the thing that focuses me and the thing that is why I'm cherishing these guys for the hard work they're doing is, the products have to be great. Like, we can't just launch some crappy product. It's as simple as that. Like, we have placed ourselves at the forefront of this space. And that's what we need to deliver. We have to deliver great products. Now, I appreciate that obviously great products plus great marketing. Those are our big challenges. And I believe, we focus on getting the great products ready, tested, looking beautiful, working. And also we're going to try to be a little bit more focused because it's, let's get Lunar Sky launched perfectly, focus all our attention on that. The devs can move on with Creator in the background. Remember, Creator is not new. It's been very largely built already, but it's still got some work to be done. So yeah, just like any company, you have to be able to create a great product that people want to use or buy, and then you have to be able to market it. And if we can get those two things right, that's where we'll be successful. If we get them wrong, that's where we'll fail. So those are our challenges, to get those two things right. And in terms of the product, I feel we're in really good hands because we have experienced NFT users, artists, etc., on our beta team, helping us with that. We can expand the beta team, I think, over the couple of weeks coming up. just to get the final elements done. We're already going to start very soon with pre-launch promotion. So again, we're getting the product perfect, and we're trying to get the marketing and launch as successful as possible.
Okay, before I move on, Sam, did you want to speak anything on? I know I got a lot of questions in the background, got a lot of DMs right now on the Simplex deal. Anything new? What's happening with that?
Yeah,
Did you want to
so
touch on it?
Simplex still, it's pretty much done, to be honest. And there's stuff that goes on behind the scenes that people just don't know about. And I'm battling to get fees down, to be honest. And Simplex, fantastic, but there are actually people probably don't realize there are actually 3 parties involved with a Simplex transaction. And really, it's just we are in final stages of really just fighting to get fees lowered before we go live. And I know people will fun say, "Why didn't you do that 6 months ago?" But this has been going on as part of the process, and we've moved a lot. We don't want people. Look, this was the reason that we built the price APIs. Was we don't want people buying Evergrow at a disadvantage. We see people using payment provision services, and they're getting a terrible price. They're paying huge fees. We don't want that, guys. We could have just launched it, and someone ends up paying 25% to buy Evergrow, with taxes and fees, etc. The last element that we're working on, I've hinted at this. I think it should be good to go. Is that we've somehow managed to come up with a system where you will get there will be double rewards distributed for a purchase on Simplex, without there being 2 sets of sales. There will be 1 contract sell for BUSD. Everybody knows that contracts sell, and I'm not going to get too much into these sell-less contracts, but the net result, whether you sell outside the contract or inside the contract, is the same, because it's all that matters at the end of the day is how many tokens were bought and how much tax was withheld. So what we've kind of devised, and I don't see any reason why it's not going to be okay, is a way for us to actually have 2 sets of rewards paid out per purchase, but only 1 set of sales. So that could be really, really positive. So effectively, it means, anyone who buys Evergrow off Simplex, there's equivalent of 16% rewards being in that, without that buyer having to pay extra. We're not going to disclose the wizardry of it at the moment. But yeah, so that's pretty cool, and that's going to really make Simplex our focus, which is another reason why we are pushing hard to get the fees just tight as possible on Simplex, because everybody knows there's a premium to using Simplex, but for most people it's not a problem. But we do want to get the price accurate, and we want to get the fees as low as possible, because we want to funnel everybody into it, because also it's going to be great for rewards as well. So as I said, I know it always seems to be around the corner, but we've ticked off pretty much every box now. We're just grappling to get these last elements of fees down, and then we're ready to go.
Sam, can I just chime in? I've gotten a couple of DMs myself just in regards to the wallet. Is there any updates on that one that you can touch base on?
Yeah, so as we announced recently, we've one of the problems with a bear market is the volume drops dramatically, and obviously the priority for everybody is that we survive whilst continuing to move forward. So although the wallet and exchange are all designed and ready to be built, we have paused that. We haven't announced that before. It's on pause just to hold that cash back, wait for BNB to pop up a bit, and then we can resume the development of that. So it's not something we're losing sleep over, to be honest. We're very happy to stagger out our utilities in an organized manner. We're going to have Lunar Sky, then we're going to have Crater, then we're going to have Wallet Exchange, etc. Yeah, everything's been delayed, but we are, the markets we couldn't predict, the war in Ukraine, and I think to some degrees, I think markets should have predicted inflation, but that was triggered very much by the war in Ukraine kind of being the final straw. So it was very hard to predict that, and yeah, so we're not in any concern about the development of the utilities. We have an order of them, and we think that the timing of them will be beneficial to the project for us to be able to focus on Lunar Sky for a little while, whilst in the background Crater is being finished, then have a big push for Crater marketing whilst in the background Wallet is being finished, and just work on that basis. So hopefully there's always something exciting, good news around the corner for holders.
Okay, Jordovich.
Hey guys. This question is actually kind of related to what you were just talking about in terms of cash flow. I mean, you recently adjusted the tax structure to have 2% for marketing, which completely makes sense, based on what other projects are doing as well in the market. But do you envision if you leave that once, the market picks up, that more of the revenue from not just Luna Sky, but all the utilities could just directly turn into profit to use for buyback and burn, and kind of that 2% remaining they would be able to kind of just fund more of your day-to-day expenses?
So as a project, we've taken the absolute bare minimum we can, but we don't want to lose our competitive edge. So, we actually, I don't know if people remember, during the absolute boom, we actually turned off our 1%. We weren't even taking 1% for a little while because we had enough money in the marketing wallet. We've been incredibly diligent to make sure that as much as possible goes to the community. So the truth is, our long-term aim will be for all the taxes to go as rewards. And to be honest, by lowering taxes, not saying 14% rewards, I don't think that helps anybody. I know projects just come up and go, Evergrow give 8% rewards, why don't we give 9? And someone goes, why don't we give 10? Why don't we give 11? That doesn't really help anybody. That's just taking money from one part of the project and pushing it into another. People pay more taxes to get more rewards. It doesn't really make much sense. What we want to have is a sweet spot. I believe 8% rewards is a sweet spot for the startup. But I'll be honest, I actually think if we had lower taxes, and actually, don't jump on me for this. Let's imagine we had 5% taxes, 5% rewards. Can you imagine the increase in our volume that would create? So everyone would actually earn far more rewards. I'm not saying we're going to do that in case anybody sort of jumps on me, but I actually think that would be amazing because, to encourage huge volume, like 10 million, 20, 30 million volume a day, maybe even more, it'd be great. We want to be in a place where all the taxes go to rewards, and then we'll talk to the community and say, look, guys, we think we might be able to have 50 million a day volume if we reduce the taxes to 5%, but you only get 5% rewards. And then you just got to do the maths. What's better to have, 5% at 50 million volume or 8% at 20 million volume, or whatever it might be? Again, these numbers I'm just throwing around. We'd love to hit those numbers. I don't know, how long it would take, what market conditions we would need. So I'm just throwing those numbers out there. I'm not giving them as guidance or anything. But I think for our project to be super successful and have huge volume, we need to be at the point where the utilities are generating all the revenue we need for running the project and also for buyback and burn. And then we can have just paying out pure rewards from the taxes. And then we can have really nice low taxes. People will trade more. People will ultimately get more rewards, which is what we're all about. That's why we created this project in the first place.
All right, I have no more questions. I'm gonna wait like 2 minutes. If anyone has any more questions, please come up. I just want to make sure everyone knows, like Sam's is talking right now about the rewards and stuff. This is stuff we just talk about behind the scenes. I know we see a lot of, tweets come in and comments come in about certain things. We talk about stuff behind the scenes that you guys have put out in comments. We've talked about them 3 months prior to this. We talk literally every day about new ideas, 5 months, 6 months down the road, but you just don't talk about it in public. But, Sam is always talking about ideas with us. We're talking about with him ideas right back to the devs. And, we're just ideas and ideas and ideas. It doesn't mean they're going to be implemented, but you keep talking about and talking about them. And
yeah, ultimately it's
going forward.
What ideas are going to benefit the holders of Evergrow, and this is where we got to run the numbers, and I'm going to jump on this. Everyone's going to talk about it for the next 2 weeks. Would having say 6% tax and 6% rewards be more beneficial than having 14% tax and 8% rewards? Probably would be. People would probably get a hell of a lot more rewards, but people push back on that because they're not following the logical process of going. People are put off by reflection projects. Okay, we've got a question here. Let's
I just brought him up.
Hey, quick question.
There, so go ahead.
Yeah, I know you're not gonna make out that name. It's actually Crypto Cactus. What I'm trying to find out is there any way possible, probably later down the line, where you'd remove all the taxes? Is that something that you thought about? Because I know some of the exchanges, kind of don't want the whole taxes stuff.
Well, look, the problem with removing all the taxes is how do we generate rewards? So, but then it's not impossible. If we're incredibly successful with our utilities, we could distribute the revenue as direct dividends. But then we have the issue of, then what are we using for buyback and burn, etc. So that would be like the most amazing place we could get to, where we could still be paying millions of dollars a month in rewards and burning tokens, all because our utilities are generating incredible revenue. That'd be amazing for everyone. Imagine if there was no taxes. Imagine, because the truth is the price would go up. But it's not in the short-term vision. The point I'm making is, if we were paying millions and millions of dollars in rewards, there was no taxes, people would pile into Evergrow for the rewards, and it would push the price right up. And again, we'd get listed on every exchange, etc. But that's a long way off in the future if it were to ever happen. So don't start worrying about that for now.
Sam, if that happened in a couple of years, would there still be a liquidity pool and stuff, or that would just come from the revenue also? Let's just say that were to happen in 2, 3, 4, 5 years, down the road.
The liquidity pool, we fill up the liquidity pool through the taxes, simply to benefit price. Okay, it doesn't, hopefully the liquidity pool kind of handles itself. But again, a project could inject money into a liquidity pool to help the price. Like the more BNB in the liquidity pool, the higher the price will go. Which is why when BNB is going down in value, our price is falling beyond our control. But if BNB starts shooting up, we're going to get a compound effect on our price. This is why that perfect kind of triangle of BNB going up, Lunar Sky launching, everybody FOMOing in, would see a really rapid increase in our price. Which is why we would do, to some degree, want to time the launch of Lunar Sky.
All right, James?
Hi, actually just had a question on Digifinex. Was there any update on that whole issue with buyback and burn?
Oh man, so this is a really tough one. So I've been going back and forth with Digifinex now for a very long time, and I nearly wrote out a full explanation of what happened on the official Twitter. And to be honest, I warned Digifinex that if they didn't, come forward with more transparency, that I would do that. And also, I would also potentially speak to some journalists. And I'm saying this because it's quite a grave situation. I believe that not just us, I believe that many, many projects may have paid an awful lot of money for listings on false pretenses. I'm aware of other significant projects who have had the same issues that we've had. It's very difficult because I've got to be careful what I say because we don't want to get sued. Basically, we provided wallets to be used for market making. They were the ones we approved for market making. We saw this huge volume. And then when we went to check this volume, we realized that volume wasn't coming from our market making wallets that we had approved. And when we went to Digifinex, they said, oh no, we decided to use other wallets that we can't give you any access to or any data from. And that accounted for over 99% of your volume. At which point we said, well, this has completely misled our community. And does this mean that 99.9% of the volume on your exchange is actually just wash trading, and that you're, effectively encouraging projects to spend? I mean, we spent $75,000 on Digifinex and the promotion around it, which is your money, guys. And I'm saying that now because I always answer when someone asks a question. I tried to be as transparent as possible. You can probably imagine why we've not been able to say too much on this, but I feel now we may have run out of options with them because the conversation seems to have ended now. So we did ask for them to return at least the money we had spent because they would not provide us with evidence. They wouldn't provide us with access to check the trading. And obviously, my opinion was that we had been misled by volume to invest heavily into using an exchange where you could allege that their volume isn't actually real, and you could allege that they are using their volume to attract projects to spend tens of thousands of dollars, and perhaps there's not all that much trading going on in real life. So this is the most you've ever heard me speak about this, and I'm only speaking now because I feel we exhausted. Again, people don't think that. I don't know what people think that we necessarily try to do, but everything we tried to do for the benefit of the community. We sent that money to Digifinex because we thought it'd be great for our community.
Sam, was that for the front page ad you're talking about?
Yeah, that one of the listing and the front page ad. in total, it cost us $75,000. And we also funded the liquidity from the team wallet. You guys know this, so we put our hands in our own pockets, so we didn't have to take that out of your budget. And again, as far as I'm concerned, this is your money. I think it was taken from our project on a false pretense, and it'd be very useful to have that money now for the benefit of our project. And I did say to them, look, if you can't provide us with evidence that these trades were not real trades, and explain to us why you did it when we told you not to, then at least refund our money, because we've got to go to our community and explain where all this money is. And so I think you guys have sort of already realised by now that there wasn't going to be some great buyback and burn. And this is, people sort of probably ask, why does this stuff keep happening in crypto? But unfortunately, it's because crypto is unregulated, and that's why these things happen. There are serious vulnerabilities whenever you do anything in crypto. We've been affected by effectively trying to do the best thing for the community, and it backfiring on us. And I think it damaged our reputation a little bit. It caused a lot of upset for the community. And we're like, we did this genuinely. We thought this would be successful. We saw another very, very, very big project, and I don't need to name them, go on Digifinex and get amazing volume. We did as much due diligence as we possibly could. And we are aware that we're not the only project that paid tens of thousands of dollars to them where this exact same thing happened. So that's all on Digifinex for now. You've heard it now from me. I was going to basically say that on an official tweet. I was reluctant to, but it's out there now. So maybe we'll do that in the next couple of days, and maybe we'll actually say, to projects all over the space, be aware, spread this information, because we don't want you guys to spend like your own investors' money if perhaps you're not getting what you think you're getting.
Okay, the new Luigi's.
Hey guys, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hey, thanks for taking my question. And Sam, thanks for transparency and the leadership that you have. I guess my quick question is in regards to the team wallet. I'm an early investor since about early November, and around that time, you guys had decided to turn on the rewards for the team wallet to go forward, buyback and burn as volume was kind of getting low back then. What's your plan for that in the future? I guess the months from now or when volume returns. Thanks for having my question.
No problem. Well, for now, all we've done with the team wallet is buy Evergrow with it. This is the only transactions. Every single BUSD has bought Evergrow and burnt a lot. In fact, there's obviously been a lot more Evergrow burnt than on, say, Safe Me Dave's report, because I don't think those burned coins would necessarily show up on his transaction. I'm not sure. Maybe they do. But I think what we're going to have to inevitably do once Lunar Sky is running, for example, we're going to need to appoint a CEO for Lunar Sky. We're going to have to do the same for Creator. We're going to have to have management teams in place. So we have to decide: do we take money away from development and marketing, or do we start to assign more elements from the team wallet to pay performance-related salaries? And I'm a big fan of that. If we can attract a great CEO and say, look, if you do great with Lunar Sky, we'll assign X number of tokens to you and all the BUSD, that's your salary. I think that's a great way to incentivize a CEO. So we haven't decided yet, but I think those are some ideas. Obviously, when we can, we'll use the money. Right now, obviously, we can't do any more buyback and burn with that wallet, because we need money now to fund the project because volume is so low. So I think we'll just, as you guys all know, that we've always done what we believe is best for the community. We turned that wallet on very, very late in the day after the whole boom, after all the huge volume. Then we turned it on. So after the $30 million volume day, so the team wallet, hasn't done anything but buy back and burn. Even our individual wallets, in total, I think I shared the other day, of the rewards paid out, the core team have received less than 1% of those rewards. I know I see all this FUD. We're not going to talk too much about FUD. Oh, you guys are getting all the rewards, blah, blah, blah. But no, it's not true. You can actually do the maths. We turned it on so late. Of all the rewards paid, the team wallet has received just around about 1% of the total rewards. That's the individual ones, and then obviously the remainder of the team wallet has only been used for buyback and burn so far. But the last set that we bought, we are going to be sending to Simplex for their liquidity. So, what we do in the future, I think we just have to keep evolving with the markets, and I think you guys know already that we'll always do what's best for the project.
I think the last, what you said, Sam, like 2 weeks ago, the four core team wallets, it was like 381,000. I think between the 4 wallets.
Okay, so it's like one. Okay, slightly over 1%, is it? So what's our rewards up to now?
37.
But I mean, I've seen.
It's real low.
Okay, yeah, so it's about 1%. So I've seen people saying, like, oh, the team are getting like half the rewards and all this. I'm like, come on, guys, like it's all there. We've got a dashboard where you can drop our wallet addresses in and see what the numbers are. So, I don't think we could be more transparent, and I don't think the team have taken, hardly anything compared to what some projects have taken. Some projects taking 3-4% for marketing. They control huge swathes of wallets. Like we're taking, we took 1% for marketing for, not even the full amount of the project. The last couple of weeks we've had to go up to 2%, really, to pay salaries. And if you do the maths, you see that we're generating very little for the marketing wallet at the moment.
Okay. Jordan, did you have another question, or did you put your?
Yeah, if you don't mind, initially I pressed it when no one else was asking questions, but I'll just go quickly here. I was just kind of curious if there's like a contingency plan or in like a worst case scenario, because everyone, all these rewards token are so directly correlated to BNB. If there were to ever be some catastrophic news about BNB and it just started tanking, like would there be like a way to still be successful with BNB dropping? Like would you have to consider launching on another chain? Or I was just kind of curious, not to be a negative person here, but
no, it's a good question. It's a good question. I mean, BNB's already crashed. It's down like 7% or something. I mean, I think BNB is the most valuable crypto out there. I'm not just saying that out of bias. I'm saying it because it's the utility token of the world's #1 utility. Anyone who like Binance is just exploding everywhere. Like it's incredible to see the progress they're making. Like CZ is on a rampage to get Binance into every country in the world. So yeah, I mean, it's already happened. It's interesting. You kind of look at it one day and you think, oh man, maybe launching on a stable coin liquidity pool would make sense. I think people know I wasn't involved in the pre-launch or the launch. Indeed, I joined after the project was live. I think in an ideal world, possibly liquidity would be linked to US dollar. But then again, as I said, my firm belief is that BNB will go on to all-time highs. If BNB got to $1,000, for example, we'd be in an incredibly advantageous place. So, we are playing. People who invest in Evergrow are also investing in BNB. I think that's the reality, and it's the same with any project that's kind of based on BNB liquidity. And for me, out of every token in the world, I would rather our liquidity was linked to BNB, even though it's down, because I believe it's more valuable than anything out there.
Sam, can you explain that for anyone who doesn't understand it out there? How our price? I mean, I know how our price is linked to BNB, and how when it goes down, our price goes down too, and how it affects it with the LP. Just a quick overrun of it.
Well, yeah, I mean, basically the side to the liquidity pool that pushes the price up and down is the BNB side, not the Evergrow side. And when there's less value of BNB in there, sales have a harsher effect on the price. And that's the reality of it. If BNB goes on a rally, we'll see it. You just need to look at the BNB chart, look at the Evergrow chart, and you'll see it's correlated. If BNB went on a huge rally from here, Evergrow, we got multiples without us having to do anything. Obviously, we want to coincide that with us doing a lot of stuff. Huge publicity and amazing launch, BNB going up. That's the triple whammy. Like that's when we could grow exponentially again. So yeah, I have huge faith in BNB. I know there's regulatory questions, but there's always regulatory questions. There's never been a day when there hasn't been. But BNB are hedging their bets by, or Binance are hedging their bets by opening up in so many countries around the world, and by creating, you know, regulated companies in those countries. And I think that that's just going to compound the demand on BNB once this market recovers. You know, I know Bitcoin is Bitcoin, but I don't think there's any reason why BNB shouldn't be more valuable than Bitcoin.
Crypto Greek.
How you doing, guys? Thanks for having me on, and I really appreciate, Sam, all your hard work. Although you deal with so many headaches, Bud, you guys are a great team and a great coin. I remember when on October 1st is the first time I bought into Evergrow, and it took me 3 days to get a wallet prepared. I didn't know how complicated because I was trying to get it at launch, and it was the reason I got into DeFi because of how you guys handle yourself, especially yourself, Sam, how you guys are doing things. I'm really proud of you guys. I have a question. In a bear market like today, have you guys thought of using a sort of swap or creating a swap that doesn't create so much contract pressure or sell pressure?
Oh man, I don't want to upset any projects by going too deep into this. Firstly, thanks so much for your kind comments and other people. Listen, guys, there's a thing called net results. Okay, if effectively these sellers swaps, contracts, etc., are just removing one step or leaving that one step outside the equation so that the contract doesn't have to sell. So if you buy 100 Evergrow and the contract has to sell, you know, 14, okay, that's one net result, leaves you with a net result of 86 Evergrow having been bought because you bought 100 and you've sold 14. The seller's contracts are basically saying let's not do the sell. Let's retain that money outside the contract and just buy 86. Guess what the net result is? The net result is 86 in both scenarios. All you avoid is the little red candle that would accompany the bigger green candle. You know, you either get an 86 green candle on its own, or you get a 100 green candle and a 14 red candle. And guess what? The price is exactly the same. So I think it's a nice idea. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I think if tokens launch with it, I think it's not a disadvantage. I think it's a neat solution, but I don't think it has an effect on the net price. So it's not something that we would rush into a V2 upgrade for, to just put it out there. So again, I'm not criticizing it. I like the innovation, but I don't think it makes any difference to price. I think it's just a neater solution, perhaps. We will avoid, as long as possible, doing a contract upgrade, and I think we're doing great with that one. Like amazing, like to think that we're, you know, ironically, although it feels like we're so new, we are one of the older, you know, because about a million ICOs have happened since us. We feel like we're now one of the older projects, although, you know, we're barely going. But we'll avoid a contract upgrade, and it doesn't make any difference to the net price. So, and it won't make any difference to holders, apart from maybe a slightly psychological difference, because, you know, some people say, "Hey man, why have I just seen $7,318 sales? That's scammy Sammy stealing money or whatever." You know, it's like no, that's contract selling. Like when you see that, it's contract selling. So apart from having to avoid answering that question, I think Paul laughed because he's probably had to answer that question about 478 times, like
Yes.
at least.
Yes.
So when you see repeated sales, that's not somebody manipulating the price. That's the contract selling for your rewards. And again, you wouldn't see that, but everything would be the same. The rewards would be the same. The net price would be the same, etc., etc. So it's a nice idea. I think when we do a V2, we will definitely look at it. Some good projects have approached us and said, "Would you do this?" I'm not criticizing them. I'm just saying that it doesn't really affect anything. So it's one of those, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But when we do a V2 upgrade, it's probably something we would consider.
Yeah, like you're just basically saying right now, like if we were to do it, we would have to, you know, do a V2 upgrade and do a whole migration. We have 139,000 addresses, and it's not worth it right now.
No, and I think we can hold on to this V1 for a very, very long time. You know, I think I want it, and if we ever did a migration, I'd want it to be as easy as possible and for the right reasons. Like I said, it's a neat little idea, but it doesn't affect the net price. It's just a superficial thing, but it doesn't affect the net price. So as it doesn't affect the net price, it's not a priority. But again, it's a nice thing that we could do in the future if we ever needed to upgrade our contract.
Okay, guys, I think that'll do it. We're just up on an hour here.
Yeah.
Please check out our designs, everything I posted up top. Check out our Twitter, our new websites. Please go to Luna Sky NFT. Follow our Twitter, follow the community Twitter, follow Evergrow Frank, follow Cody. I'm Evergrow Paul, follow Sam. Sam, anything other words?
No, guys, just, thank you to absolutely everybody. The community has been amazing. These are tough, tough times. And to hear all you guys have been in for so long, and you're holding steady and you're supporting us, and you're being positive. And the team from the top, from our community team, from the core team, all the mods and admins and helpers, absolutely everybody is doing an amazing job in, let's hope, the hardest time you'll experience. Let's hope for at least a decade. Like this is it now, guys. You're pushing through. We may well be, 50% through the pain. We may be more than 50% through the pain. So everyone's doing brilliantly. So like my heartfelt thanks to literally everybody. Amazing stuff.
All right, guys. Thank you very much for joining our space. This will be recorded, and we will see you next time. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, everyone.
Take care, everyone. See y'all.
All right, guys, thanks for watching. It's a decent update. It's always good to hear from Sam. I'm still pretty bullish on Evergrow. I think out of all the projects, I feel the most confident in Evergrow. I don't know if that's how you guys feel. If it's not, it's totally cool. Everybody's got their own projects. But for me, Evergrow is like a safe bet that I'm willing to put more money into. So it was awesome to hear from Sam once again. And yeah, sorry I haven't been posting videos as much lately. I've been really busy with all these different kinds of things. But there is definitely some updates. But obviously once the projects and products start to launch, the NFT marketplace being the big one coming soon, I'll be full force, hopefully, with videos and live streams, and I'll probably be buying the NFT thing because I think there's going to be some big rewards if you get a rare NFT, so that's going to be pretty cool. Anyways, guys, thanks for stopping by. I hope you guys have a good day, and I'll see you guys in the next video or live stream. You guys have a good one.